So we're going to wrap up here, sort of wrap up. We actually have a little bit of a surprise announcement that we're going to close out on here, and our next speaker will tee that little extra special session up for us here. But I'm really excited that Elaine Bedel, who's the president of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, is with us today. As you just heard about the importance of partnerships between and among different types of institutions, as we think about the time period that have been operating AgriNovus, we've been very fortunate that from the very beginning, the initiation of an organization like this, that there wasn't one grouping or one category of an institution that sort of just led the hard charge and everybody else had to come along aside or figure out what their role was. We had industry, we had university and education, and we had state government. We couldn't have done this without the very original support of both the Indiana State Department of Agriculture and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation alongside us. And I would say that as these last, Elaine, 3 to 4 years have gone by, I hope that you would agree that this particular year, 2018, sort of serves as the rock star year of the work that we've been able to do together. So I'd like to ask Elaine to come up, talk a little bit about some of these exciting things that we've done together, and then we'll close ourselves out with our announcement. Elaine?
Thank you to AgriNovus as a sponsor for this event, but also to our other partners, Corteva Agriscience, as well as Elanco Animal Health. So thank you all for that. Without their support, this couldn't be possible. I am Elaine Bedel, and I do have the honor of serving as president of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. And our whole reason for existence is to make sure that we have a growing and sustainable economy here in Indiana for our citizens to benefit from. And one of the ways that we do that is through a lot of collaboration and looking for a lot of opportunities to help grow jobs, to help increase wage, and again, to help diversify our economic system here. And what I heard today in the time that I was here, I'm sorry I missed this morning's session, was a lot of great conversation, a lot of great collaboration among the emerging entrepreneurs that we have, the existing Indiana businesses that we have in this sector, as well as some leading minds on what can come next, and to add all the students that were here as well. What a better group could you find anywhere to talk about that and to help Indiana grow. And as Beth mentioned, 2018 probably has been that rock star year. We've had a great year in the ag bioscience area. There was not only a significant relationship created, we hosted a national conference, and we brought in some businesses into this agri-science space. The relationship, first of all, when the Governor Eric Holcomb, led a delegation to Israel earlier this year in April, they signed a memorandum of understanding with the Israel Innovation Authority. And the focus of that memorandum is going to be on agribusiness or agribioscience innovation. So we're looking forward to what we might do together with those from Israel to come up again, sharing ideas and growing areas. The second thing, hosting the inaugural Forbes Ag Tech Summit here in Indianapolis. Again, a partnership with AgriNovus leading that effort and the IEDC. To have Forbes here and to see what we do here in the Midwest. Mr. Forbes himself came and participated, so it was a great success, and then followed up by this wonderful conference that was held today as well. And we've been fortunate, as I mentioned, to bring in new businesses that came into this ag bioscience space. Examples of that would be Premier Biosource, as well as EnviroCure. Both of them bring both research and development as well as manufacturing. That's what we need that sector to do to help bring that continuing diversification. And so that's why the collaboration that you've had today and hopefully the ideas that come out from this are so important, and we so much appreciate all of you participating. So let me just say thanks again to Beth and the tremendous team that she has at AgriNovus for all the work that put in for this, and for all of you again for being here today and participating in such a meaningful way. So, as she said, to kind of close out and really put an exclamation point maybe on 2018, we do have a special announcement. I'll ask Beth to come up and help with that.
So I think that actually for anybody who's checking phones and watching local media outlets, the news has kind of already been broken. But some of you, I would hope, are so focused on the content of the day that maybe you just missed it. So we're going to actually get an opportunity right here at the end to tell you about a really great development with a really amazing company based out of Brazil that is going to be putting their first U.S. operations in West Lafayette in the Purdue Research Park. So we'll give you the details on that, but let me provide just a little bit of background on how our introduction and our connection to this company called Solinftec came to be. So as we are starting to think about at AgriNovus the networks that need to be built, the ecosystem we need to start exploring, this spring I traveled to San Francisco. You heard that's where I met VJ Harrell, one of our entrepreneur panelists, and had an opportunity to spend 3 or 4 days at a World Agri-Tech conference. And there actually was an opportunity where some of you here based in Indiana know Kip Tom of Tom Farms. Kip was there at the summit and happened to just say to me, you need to come join me for this dinner I'm having tonight. It's this Brazilian company, AgTech, it's really interesting. We're talking to them about potentially piloting some of their technology on our farm. Okay, great, I'd love to meet them. So go to the dinner. I'm not going to bore you with all the sort of discussion and conversation at the table, but let me do say this, though. I sort of sat for most of it sort of wondering kind of why I was there. Because it was a lot of conversation about their relationship, their technology relationship, the pilot project, the research, the timeline, the terms of that, and I'm thinking, I feel like the third wheel here at this particular conversation. They figure out what their next steps are. Kip starts talking about timelines and locations and how soon can you get to the farm. We're ready to get this started. And Renato, who you'll meet in a minute, says, yes, we're on that. Kip says, you're going to need to land somewhere. You're going to need to be somewhere. And Renato says, we've been looking at that. We're looking at Champaign. There's supposed to be a gasp in the room right now. Kip looks at me and says, this is why you are here at the dinner this evening. And I realized it was time to go into Indiana salesmanship mode. And immediately, without missing a beat, it shows you the power of a conversation, the power of a relationship, the power of not being too reserved to step out in front and say, what do you know about Indiana? Let me tell you a little bit more about Purdue University. Let me tell you about our ag bioscience community. Let me tell you about the tech firms that are here that are aligned with the kinds of things that you're doing. And so I will just say to you, you're going to see a video here in just 1 second that it will introduce the company, but this is a company on the move. They have a large footprint in Brazil that will be demonstrated. They are making this move into the US, into the Midwest, into row crop production. And again, for Indiana to be so fortunate to be the place that you're ready to start that operation is so incredibly meaningful to all of us and to the relationships I know, Renato, that you and the team are going to get to continue to build. So let's take a look at Solinftec.
Well, there's certainly a lot of interest in the ag space today and people investing in different platforms trying to increase productivity on the farm. Everybody knows that global challenge to try to double the world's food supply by 2050, and what we have to do in the meantime to make sure we lessen our carbon footprint is make sure that we're operating our equipment in a very efficient way, we're managing the resources that we have at our disposal, and we're increasing productivity while lowering cost. Solinftec, with their system, is really helping us look at our entire operation and better manage our equipment through this optimization of the data. I think Solinftec's decision to come to the leading university in the United States when it comes to computer science and ag data and data science was a good choice. Working with Purdue University, they'll take this product to a new level and go ahead and contribute to that global challenge.
So now I'd like to ask Renato Hersz, one of the company's founders, and also JayAkridge, Provost of Purdue University, to come up and each say a few words as well. Renato, welcome to Indiana.
Thank you. This feels like home already. Thank you for the Hoosier hospitality. Well, Beth, serendipity. It's not just a word to make Solinftec sound like an easy word. It's what we have happening out here. Who would say? Back in December last year, we decided to explore the US market. We get Rob Leclerc from AgFunder on board. He introduces us to Kip Tom. Kip Tom introduces us to Beth. As she described, Beth gets us in contact with the people at Purdue through Paul Moses. And here we are, 8 months down the road, launching our US headquarters in Purdue. What happens in 8 months? Now we are operational in Florida. We got US Sugar and Florida Crystals as clients. We are operational in California. We got one of the main pistachios and almonds producers in the country and in the planet as a client. And we are very proud to launch our US headquarters out of West Lafayette, out of Purdue. I'm a true believer in divine providence, and I also believe that really good things happen to those who hustle. And I would like to give a big kudos to Beth for pushing us. It's been great. And we are together, we are making it happen. We say that, ideas are like, are like clouds, and that words are like thunders, but actions are like the rain. Is it what really make things grow? And we really appreciate all the action that we see out here. We would like to invite you to dream with us a future or a present where we got IoT, Internet of Things, being able to capture everything that is going on in a farm, real-time and online, where we get artificial intelligence processing all this information real-time and online to, in a very near future, have a truly autonomous farm so that we are able to feed the world population and where we are able to transform the kids of machine operators into data scientists. I'm confident that together we'll do it. Thank you.
Jay?
Well, I appreciate the chance, Renato, to offer just a few words of welcome to you and all of your colleagues at Solinftec, to West Lafayette, to Indiana, on behalf of Purdue University and the Purdue Research Foundation. You know, I heard the word convergence used multiple times throughout the afternoon, and it just seems like an appropriate word for this extraordinary announcement and really this extraordinary time in our state, because I was thinking just a little bit about the convergence of so many factors that came together perhaps to make this announcement possible. We're located in a state with a world-class College of Agriculture, top 10 in the world, #1 agricultural and biological engineering program in the U.S., led by Dean Karen Plout, that's made major commitments in digital agriculture, faculty, facilities, and equipment. At a university led by President Mitch Daniels that is deeply committed to being industry's preferred partner as an academic institution, and we're located in a region that's come together around a project, the Wabash Heartland Innovation Network, led by CEO Johnny Park, that again is committed to turning that area into an innovation hub for digital agriculture nationally, globally, through ideas like building out the Internet of Things Foundation and networking the 5,000 or so farmers in the region. And of course, the work of Beth Bechdol, the leadership she's provided AgriNovus Indiana to help build out this Agbioscience innovation ecosystem in our state, and importantly, raise the flag of what's happening here nationally and globally. And Elaine, the commitment our state has to expanding its presence in ag bioscience, in a material way. And so these factors come together, and now we have the chance to welcome Renato and his colleagues to our state as they launch their U.S. headquarters here. And again, I think it's an extraordinary announcement at an extraordinary time. And I can assure you, all of us at Purdue University, our faculty, staff, and students are looking forward to this partnership, to working with you, to do the research, to develop the ideas, the new technologies, the innovations that it's going to take to feed the world and to meet the challenge laid out by Professor Jetta a little bit earlier, this idea of feeding 9 billion people by the year 2050. So welcome, we're glad you're here, and we're looking forward to growing with you.
Okay.
Well, on behalf of Governor Eric Holcomb and the whole state of Indiana, let me add my welcome and congratulations to Renato and the entire company for being able to be here, part of the Indiana collage of wonderful businesses in the ag bioscience area. We're very welcoming to that and look forward to having you there. I grew up on a farm, and what they're going to be doing on a farm is nothing like what I grew up doing on a farm. So I'm really excited about the innovation and really such a short time that we're seeing in the ag bioscience area. It's changing so many things around us in such a great way. So we're looking forward to that. And this is one more reason why the partnership that IEDC has with AgriNovus is so important to us as well. Beth, you've done an excellent job, and we certainly appreciate it. But again, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was fantastic. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
That feels so good. So exciting to see that all come together when you realize, again, I come back to having so much of it be about people and about people building relationships, trusted, transparent, open relationships with one another. So Renato and the team, welcome again. We are done. This was, I know for many of you, a really full day. I give you great credit for sticking with us. Hopefully, we kept your attention and kept you excited about the topic and all the things that you heard about here, that you feel challenged in some way. Now that we're done, you had a lot of calls to action in the sessions throughout this day. Some are very personal calls to action. Some are industry-driven calls to action. Some are local, state, national calls to action. In any and all of that, if AgriNovus can be a partner to you, can be a supporter to you, you can be a partner to us, please keep those thoughts and ideas in your front of mind. I also want to make sure that before we close, as I think about the end of this year, that I also give some recognition here at the very end to some of our newest partners. And when I say newest partners, we use partner a lot of times fairly loosely. We have a new partnership with SVG and Thrive and John. We have a new partnership with Renato and his team. But I also always have to be mindful of those organizations who are willing to put their financial resources into the efforts of AgriNovus and make investments in our programming. And so over the course of these last several months, we've welcomed representatives to different councils, to our board of directors from companies and organizations like Italpolina, the Wabash Heartland Innovation Network, the B Corp, AgReliant Genetics, Wabash Valley Power, the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership, and today we also are announcing that the Kosciuszko County Economic Development Corporation, known as KEDCO locally in central Indiana, and Alan Teo is their executive director, will be joining our board of directors as well. I'm really excited about that relationship because it shows you a very localized community steeped in the ag biosciences, steeped in production agriculture, who sees this connectivity between their own local community and what AgriNovus and this community of stakeholders is doing statewide and even beyond. So Alan, welcome to you and the other members of your organization to our efforts. We're excited to have you. I also need to make sure that I thank my team. Oh, gosh, my voice is breaking. Shouldn't have that happen here on such a celebratory day, but it shows you how much confidence and how much friendship and how much trust and respect our small but mighty team have for one another. So I can't see them, but Bridget O'Reilly back in the back at the social media nest has been hanging out and managing all of the social media. Libby Fritz has been running all of the details and making sure that everything happened the way that it should, kept me hydrated, kept me caffeinated, made sure video production was taking place. This isn't even telling you the things that they did in the months leading up to this event, just telling you what they're doing today. Dan Dawes has been strategically working the room, building conversations, making sure we listened, we heard comments that you were making, things and new ideas that you have to bring to us. And I really want to make sure as well that I also give a big shout out to Beth Zimmerman, who has been a partner to our team for the last 4 years of putting the AgriNovus Innovation Summit together. She has also been a huge supporter and a member of the CICP larger team for work that she's done for BioCrossroads. We are especially sad but excited for her. She is really sort of making this her final event as she and her family pick up and move to California. I'm not sure what we're going to do without her next year. We may be figuring out some telecommuting, event planning, new structure. But JoBeth, if you're back there, thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the whole team for all the great work you've done to help us make this year's event just so incredibly amazing. The last thing, thank you again, Corteva and Elanco, for being our title sponsors, and to all of the other sponsors that you have in your program. We are now done, and what follows, I hope, is a lot of dialogue, a lot of conversation, a lot of chewing on the issues that you heard about today at the networking reception that follows just outside. So thank you again for taking your full day to be with us, for the time, the attention, the commitment, the interest in the Indiana Ag Biosciences. FFA members, you get me so energized when you are here year after year to be a part of this event. I'm not sure how many other events you can go to where you have high school students, high school teachers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, investors, nationally recognized researchers, academic leaders. We had it all today. And so that's a special shout out to you, but also recognition of all of you in the audience for all the talent and the skills and the friendships that you're bringing to our efforts as well. Thank you very much for attending. We will be in touch with you about 2019. Not sure what we're going to do to top 2018, but we'll come up with something, and we're just excited to have you be tremendous partners to AgriNovus Indiana. Thank you.